Hello, welcome everyone to The Distraction here on Fightful.com, youtube.com/Fightful. I'm Jeremy Lambert, joined as always the chubby chief, the van apologist, Joseph Hulbert. Joseph, how are you?
You're behind already, Jeremy, because I don't know if you know this, but now that Vanessa Born has been released, like the apologist group, like we got like 100 new requests. You know, like everyone's like, oh, I'm in. She said something about zombies. Sign me up. So now, like, it's really, I'm actually kind of falling down the radar.
Really?
So I'll have to fight my way back up on this show. Yeah.
I think you are still a leader. Like, you were the leader of the group. We branded you as Vanessa Born guy, Joe Hulbert, many months ago, and here we are. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people messaged me and was like, "Is Joseph okay?"
I do, because I got the same messages from the same amount of people. I came back. I was off my phone when all this stuff happened, and I came back to like 8 DMs, and then a text from you, and I was like, "Wow, this is tough. This is not a great brand on my part." You know, it was because half of them seemed comedic, but the other half seemed genuinely concerned that I was like devastated at this news that someone that hadn't been on television is no longer on television. Of course, she said it herself, right? I was really shocked after all the work I'd done for the last 18 months. Yeah. You can't really argue with that. That's the facts.
Did you what do you think of her comments? Because a little odd.
She's just a little bit odd. That's why I like the Vanessa Born. She's a little bit out there. She's a little wacky. Okay. She's going to do some weird shit, Jeremy. I'm telling you. Seatbelts on. She's going to do some weird shit. Fight TV need to get ready for some weird stuff going on. she's out there. She's eccentric. She's different. She's got some charisma, Vanessa Born. Seriously, all jokes aside. And if she wants to wrestle, she'll do something, you know, as a character on TV, because she's just she's a bit odd, right? You can't read her, can you? You can't tell if she's being serious or sincere. Like when she was doing it, it was like, oh, she's cutting a promo. But then some of the stuff she said, you was like, oh no, this is just her.
Yeah.
you couldn't decipher where she was at. But I don't know. I'm sure she'll follow the Ty Conti, like, you know, goes to dark and becomes Masawa or whatever. You know, that's what I hope happens. That'd be very fun for my brand.
I'll say you're very excited for the AEW Dark run that turns into the AEW women's title run for the van. Yes.
Always excited, man. I watch Dark every week, Dark Elevation. I keep running graph and spreadsheet of the wins and losses. And to add Vanessa's name on that list, whatever a non-fed name will be, very exciting experience for me. You know, very exciting. Rampage. That's news, Jeremy. We should be talking about Rampage, not Quentin Rampage Jackson.
I was going to say Quentin Jackson.
No, he's not doing anything. I hope he's not doing anything, bless him. But the new show, haven't you heard?
I have heard. I have no idea what this means for our Friday schedule, because Sean is like, what do you want to do about Fridays, Jeremy? And I'm like, well, you know, if it's an important show, we can do the post show at 11. But like, if it just turns into 3 matches where not a whole lot happens, then I don't know. Do we really need to do anything with this? So it might be a Twitch gimmick. Like, we might review the show on Twitch moving forward. I have no idea what we're going to do with Rampage. I think what I actually want to do is I want to review it on Twitch while we play the Rampage video game. Did you ever play that game, Joseph?
I did not, no.
It's a good
but
game.
I have an alternate plan that follows a similar route. What if we buy one of the good UFC games and we play as Quentin Rampage Jackson in like Pride mode, and then we have Rampage on too? We could also do that.
Okay. I like this idea as well. Just all the Rampage synergy here.
Yes, that's what it is, yes. What do we think, in all seriousness, what do we think this show will be? If we were to just guess, so my prediction is those Road 2s they put on YouTube, splice those up with some, like the high-end dark matches that are competitive. That's what I'm expecting personally. What do you think?
I kind of think it'll be like Dark Original. Because you remember the original Dark, when they were taping it in front of crowds, they do like 3 matches, and the main event would be something like worthwhile and stuff. I think it's going to kind of be like that. And then, yeah, you splice in some of the like Road 2 kind of stuff, do some promo work. And I think that's what it'll end up being. That's my guess anyway. Because Tony Khan says it's going to be Dynamite equivalent. I don't think it's actually going to be Dynamite equivalent. It's on 10 o'clock on a Friday. Like, you ain't going to, you know, give away your best stuff 10 o'clock on a Friday when you got Wednesday nights prime time. But I think it'll be similar to that.
That's interesting, though. I mean, not that I would question the Tony Khan's integrity on such a comment when he's trying to promote his brand new show, but yeah, I tend to agree. I personally think they're going to take this thing like kind of in bulk. This is my take, my theory. I think they're going to tape matches live, and then they'll do pre-tapes to splice in whatever context is needed for what's going on story-wise, you know? So like, if you buy a ticket to a Rampage taping, you're probably going to get like 20 matches, and it'll be Rampage and like Elevation or something, you know, because they're not going to be able to do 4 shows on one night, right? You're going to have to adjust in some way. And I don't think they want to run 2 lives a week. So like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong on that, Jeremy. But it seems like the scheduling is going to be the actual hard thing here, not the content.
I think they're going to tape. I do think they are going to do like a Friday taping. So my guess is like they're going to keep Dark and Dark Elevation because they've established these shows now. And I still think they are going to be like the enhancement shows, essentially scouting shows. So they'll tape some of those matches before Dynamite, the actual Dynamite show. And maybe they'll tape a couple matches after. The Rampage tapings, I think it's going to be kind of like you said, like a live event type mix with the actual Rampage show. So if you go to that show, you're getting like 3 hours of wrestling, I would imagine. And I don't know. I think Meltzer might have had something on like the actual Rampage taping schedule that I'm trying to look up right now. But I think you're going to get like, here we go. Here's the taping schedule. You noted that everything is fluid. Well, that doesn't help. There will be some live tapings on Friday, but they won't be a regular thing. So the Friday before pay-per-views will be live for sure. So basically, there's not much there. I do think there will be like a taping though, and you'll get like 3 hours. You'll get an hour of Rampage that'll be live or live to tape, and then you'll get 2 hours of like Dark Elevation type matches. They got to cut back. They got to cut back on these Dark Elevation shows though. Like you can still do them as like scouting shows. They don't need to be 18 matches, 2.5 hours long. Unless
TK is truly insane and he's going to run like empty arena Daily's Place tapings.
That was my thought yesterday when I was on with Sean is I think they will do like some Daily's Place taping stuff and do like the scouting shows on that. I really think they're going to do that.
So what do we think they like? So Jericho said he expects to be the announcer on this new show. He said this months ago, right? He was like, when that second show comes, I'm going to be the color guy and all this stuff. Do we think it will be like show Jericho in a lead, like Shivani with them too? Or so, like, what do we think? I'm intrigued what this show's going to look like, you know? Because I'm with you. It does need to feel, even though it's on at 10 Friday night, it does need to have like somewhat the energy of a Dynamite. Because Dark and Dark Elevation, like they are very much bonus content. It can't feel like it's on TV, right? So I don't know. What do you think?
You gotta do at least one big match a week, right? Like you can't put like these Dark Elevation shows. Like you'll find some decent matches in there, but you're not tuning in for a lot of this stuff. Everyone knows who's gonna win most of these matches. There's no real mystery. It's signed guys against unsigned guys or tier 0 guys. There's not a whole lot there. So like. It's on television. I would think they're going to give away some, not top tier main events, but I think they're going to use some like main event guys and have some big matches on this.
Look, they got the squad for it, right? I mean, you're looking at a huge roster of guys that, frankly, most of them haven't worked. I think this is a time where the TNT title, which is obviously hilariously named now, but like the TNT title is really going to be more important, right? So like we've got used to recently. With Derby, Dynamite main event, TNT title. You're going to get one TNT title match a week, I think, with these 2 shows. Like, I think that's a lock to just build content around. Bill's Memphis in the chat about the trios titles. Like, that also feels like such an easy. And here's the thing. That belt is one that people, their instincts are like, oh, I hate too many title belts. Dude, they're so prepared for that belt. Like, it's overdue, way overdue. We could sit here and name multiple trios that would be fun with that. You know, like, I think, I don't know, I must say, we try. I do all the time. But, we as critics, Jeremy, we are expected to be professional for some reason. But, like, it must be said that we're, like, 2 years into this AEW thing, right? It's pretty cool, right? Like, they're getting this second show. It seems like the kind of family and networks they're on really kind of wants them there. You're going to get quarterly specials, which you and I as WCW guys, that's just
I want to talk about that. Right?
Yes. Right, we'll get into that. It's just... I don't want to be overly, romanticize this whole thing because it is a promotion with a lot of money behind it. But it must be said, Jeremy, when I started covering professional wrestling, the idea of an alternative that was as like viable as AEW already is, right, that was like, dream stuff, like outrageous scenarios. It just wasn't happening. So it's very, very cool. And when you see all that stuff yesterday, it did kind of put a grin to my face, Jeremy, I must say. It was very neat, you know. Rampage on a Friday night. It's WCW. It's just great. It's wonderful stuff.
Let me catch up on some super chats here. Guys, reminder, you can get your super chats in. Your question, comment, statement will be read on air. Leave us a thumbs up on the video. Joseph, you have giant thumbs. We were comparing thumb sizes on Friday's show.
Tiny thumb.
You got SP3 thumbs.
Oh, fuck.
JJ, head of PR. Hello, the favorite big stars. Hope you're doing well. Here's extra for missing last week live. My God, JJ just, he had better things to do last week. He had a new phone and everything, and then he just still gives us money. Fast and Furious is happening. When's Yano coming to AEW? Hopefully soon. Love you both for being awesome. Love you too, JJ. Hope you're doing well. What else do we have here? Our buddy Chris sends a super chat. It says, review Rampage while watching the Rock motion picture of the same name based on the video game. Now, see, we want to play the game. I like Joseph's idea of playing UFC or mine of playing the Rampage game. We're going to watch the Rampage movie while reviewing the show. It doesn't make any sense, Chris. Bud Ryan says, personal graphic designer here. Hope you gents have a good day. And to Russ, to the Wiz, to get the 8 seed, LeBron for best leading actor. Love you guys. We'll talk about some basketball either today or on the Twitch. Been a blast catching you live last week. This is from Luke Gregg. Fiance back tomorrow. Baby incoming. So you're back on Friday morning. Catch up treadmill slot from next week. Super chats mark the end of a very short air. I hope things go well. The baby is incoming like now. She's in the delivery room. What's going on here, Luke? Best wishes to the fiance and the baby. I don't know. Like he says, fiance's back tomorrow. Does that mean like she and the baby are coming back from a vacation, or like the baby is coming here, Joseph? We might be in the middle of this show delivering a baby. Do we need to, do the?
No,
that's how it goes, right?
That's very good. Yeah, I wonder if the baby we call Joe or Jeremy. That feels like a conflict of sorts.
Well, we call it Joseph Jezza. That's the baby's name.
Yeah, great name. Yeah. I love this. Not Joseph Jeremy, it's Joseph Jezza. I like you shorthand it. That's fine. No, it is wild though. I do appreciate that super chat, because it is wild to me that like it's considered like a good thing to be able to watch our shit live, Like I feel like it'd be much better to be able to skip, right, Jeremy? That's what I would do if I watched us two dipshits every week. But I appreciate it. Apparently it's a good thing to watch live. I don't know. Oh wow, there you go.
Let's talk about the quarterly specials, because to me, like this was the biggest thing. Okay, they're moving to TBS, like whatever. They're still Wednesday nights, 8:00. Like it's a different network, but it doesn't affect me at all. The new show is. We'll have to see what it is. The quarterly specials, this is the thing, because they do these Dynamite specials, and it feels like one a month where they name it some wacky thing, and it's supposed to be one of their big gimmicks. But then they also have, like last week, they didn't have a wacky name for it, but it was the greatest show ever. Best lineup ever, Joseph. Like the wrestling that they put on this show was just tremendous. Absolutely tremendous, Joseph. Now they got the quarterly specials. I think they're going to cut down on the Dynamites, those with the names, and they're going to try to build a little bit more of these quarterly specials, like the Clash, like the Battle Bowl, or Battle of the Belts type stuff. Saturday night's main event. This is something you've been pushing for. Of hey, do like a tournament, do something on these things, because it's content.
Yes, so I think there's two kind of layers to this. We love our layers here on the Distraction. Exactly right. I think as a fan, firstly, it's just like, oh how. This is just so cool. It's even more WCW. Like, it's just fun, right? I think with this roster, it's a really cool idea, and I'm all for it. But then to get where you're going with it, like, speaking objectively, this should help their TV so much. And I think their TV is already really good. But the one element of it that I don't love is, like, it's a little bit, it's not as cohesive as I'd like in terms of building to a destination. I think part of that is you're spreading it over a 12-week build. Man, if we can cut all these pay-per-view builds in half now, not completely. You can have some angles that go overlap the TV special to next. Like now you're looking at, you have basically 8 events to build to in a year. You can rock with that, right? You're looking at 6-week builds. I mean, I just think it should improve TV, and they should have something to build to. And the best thing is you can now spread the spotlight matches. So like a guy like Ricky Starks, who's obviously around and we love, if you can't fit him onto that pay-per-view card, okay, we'll give Ricky a huge match on this special. It's just more opportunities for a roster that frankly needs the opportunities. It's a huge spot, and it's different. People might say it could hurt Dynamite. I think the opposite. I think it'll give him a chance to actually build stuff more kind of directly and always have a destination ahead. If done correctly, man, I think you should make the TV like it's already very good. I think you should make it great. Just on forcing them to focus in more. I think it should be really good.
I think it'll help the pay-per-views as well because now you can put some of this stuff. Like you don't need these battle royals on every single pay-per-view. Okay. Mm-hmm. I just don't need it. Put some of that stuff on the quarterly special. Like take for example, you got the Casino Battle Royal coming up. You put this on a quarterly special. It's like, okay, that's who wins this thing. Now you have a contender for the championship. And now you spend the next cycle of TV tapings building who won the Battle Royal to the world title. Because, our complaint last week was the world title match, Double or Nothing. Going to be a great match. Feels very thrown together. Like Omega, Pac, and Orange Cassidy there's no real long-term story there. You can use these quarterly specials to kind of set up the next TV tapings for the pay-per-view specials. So I think it'll help that stuff as well. And like you said, just more focus and more cohesion with this stuff. I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward, assuming they handle it well. I'm looking forward to the quarterly specials.
It's interesting. Like we all get the TV. You need to make that weekly show a hit, right? It's just the reality of where wrestling is now. You need to make that a hit so you can get those broadcasting rights. Obviously, those deals, they're the ones that pay to keep companies afloat. But there is a majesty and a kind of an appeal to just like the big stuff being on separate events, Some of those Clash of Champions matches, Jeremy, as you know probably better than I. Some of those things live forever. Those Clash of Champions and little taglines that they would have, it's special. 4 a year is not many. And I think with this roster, we know how good they'll be. Like, you give some of these guys a chance to really make them shows their own. If you build a show around a Bucks title defense or a Kenny title, for example, put it this way: take the Kenny Phoenix match from earlier this year and put that on a quarterly special. That's like it feels bigger than Dynamite. It becomes even more legendary, I think, and iconic within the kind of modern wrestling landscape. It just allows things to stand out in the pack when you're doing that many big matches a week on Dynamite. I think it's huge. And honestly, the best thing about it is, man, is like I genuinely have complete faith that it will do what we're saying too. Like I really think it will help their product because to me, how long have I been saying this is the thing they need to do, right? Like it just seems so perfect what their roster is. So I think it was all positive. Obviously I'm not an expert on Brit. I'm not an expert on the TNT TBS thing, but like I think it's pretty obvious their audience just like they're gonna probably just find it on TBS. Like I don't think they'll be like, what happens now? Like I think it'll be fine. And the key is they got more money, which is like, pay some mojo.
I think the biggest thing with TNT TBS, like TBS is in more homes. TNT is more established as like a sports network because it has the basketball on it. TBS will have like Braves games, but that's kind of it as far as sports goes. TNT is like a destination place for basketball. So I think TNT is just more established there. But otherwise, like, yeah, it ain't that big of a difference. Like you said, that audience, they're not going to be like, TBS? No, I don't know about this. Not going to really follow them over now that they're on TBS. Like, it ain't going to make that much of a difference.
It would be great if it did, though, right? Like, guys are like, I have nostalgia for Nitro, but WCW Saturday Night, no way. I'm out of that thing. Take me a Ring of Honor.
Rob Wilkins says, Hope Khan signs Teddy Long for Rampage. Christian Cage will wrestle Brian Cage. Special referee will be Adam Page on Rampage, playa. There you go. And Ray Callahan says IWGP title having a bad start. Kenny next champ. I don't think Kenny's getting that title. Do you want to talk about that, Joseph? Will Ospreay is no longer the champion. I guess they're just going to put the belt on Sonata finally. That's my guess.
Oh, someone asked this on Patreon, but I don't know, Jeremy.
We've been checked out on like New Japan. I've been watching it just because I got to keep up with results and I'm doing articles and stuff, but man, it's not like and I know they've been hit by the pandemic and stuff, but like, it's just not a great product right now.
It's hard because like, obviously Ospreay is, he comes with a lot of like disclaimers and kind of, asterisks, but like, it's been pretty obvious from the outside looking in that he's the only guy that is having these matches that people are like talking about the day after. I would suggest it's not ideal that he's not there anymore. Like, I don't know. I keep seeing on Twitter talking about Tanahashi, and it's just like, I love Tanahashi, but is that really the play? That feels like just the definition of like, yeah, we're past the golden era. Let's try and go back. There's no going back, but is Sonata the answer? I don't know, man.
No, he's not. I say that jokingly. Like, I think Sonata was at one point. They could have pulled the trigger on him, and it would have been like, oh, okay, finally. But they've done so many stop-start things with, he's not actually gonna win it right here. Like, it's tough. Like Okada, that feels like another thing of like, all right, cool, we're going back to Okada again. That's a little bit better than Tanahashi because Tanahashi is just, past it. Shingo, people are saying Shingo. I think that's the best call. Man, he just like lost to Ospreay, and it was a great match and everything. Jay White might honestly be like the best solution, but he's reportedly got COVID, so I don't know when he's going to be back. I don't know, man. Put it on Nagata. Put it on Nagata.
From the outside looking in, it feels like Gedo needs like a year or so off, just some time away from the book, and like you can have someone in just as maintenance and keeps things rolling. But from the outside looking in, again, I need to stress the outside looking in. It does feel like they're really spinning their wheels here, and the ideas are just the matches. Like when you go through the options, okay, like say Jay White wins it, we love Jay White, right? He's great. Yeah. Like what matches do you do with him? Shingo, and then what? It's like a bunch of matches. I feel like so. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? They've made the most of that crew. I feel like, and it's hard to keep. They just try to make Ospreay the new name in that list, and now he's gone. It's very difficult.
Yeah, Louis says Jay is never openweight champion, so it's unlikely. Just give them both belts. They love that stuff. They love all this belt collect. And then Jay can go around, I'm the real belt collector, and they can tease an Omega match that's never going to happen. Just do all that.
So do you like the Omega thing? We both think it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
But if you're Rocky Romero, don't look much like him, but if you are you like looking at that and thinking, maybe that's the play? Relevance-wise, maybe that helps. Maybe we get back in this kind of the buzz of it. Do we just make a negative and turn it into a positive?
If they can do it, yes. I just don't know if they can do it because you got Omega. The story's up as well. But like he's already said, he's holding all these titles. It's a big commitment to hold all these titles. Like he's got to do AEW stuff. He's got to do Impact stuff. He's got to do AAA stuff. You want to throw the IWGP title on him. You got to go to Japan to defend that. They still have like quarantine rules. So you go over there, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks before you can even do anything. And then you're coming back and it's just, man, that's just a lot for Kenny Omega to do. And I don't know how much he can commit to doing stuff in Japan with all his other commitments here. I don't know how long he's going to hold the AAA title. It feels like he might lose that to Andrade at Triple Mania. The Impact title, maybe he loses it to Moose, but the point is him having all of these titles. So if he starts losing titles, then you put the IWGP title on him. It doesn't feel quite as big.
No, it doesn't. It's hard because you're right. When you lay out all the factors, it's very unlikely. Right, it just is. I think Omega would be a play for like buzz, but when you really think about what they need like a steady guy that's going to attract people to these buildings over the next few months. And in that sense, you're right. It's just he's not especially about the IC title. So if you have the IC title, you can then you have that main event separate, and they can do a thing where they're the real champ. That's gone now.
That was so dumb.
Yeah, so dumb. I never got that, man. I never understood it. I thought that was such a great thing they'd done there. They'd built a belt that was equivalent, so they could main event reasonably. And I know people say the never, but like that belt meant a lot. Yeah,
no, the never title doesn't mean anything. Like they pass that thing around like every single month,
right? And then you end up with like you're doing like junior tags and they're going 30 minutes and stuff, and it's like I don't know. I mean, you're trying to give people the best show you can with a limited crew, but at the same time, longer is not just better, right? In wrestling, anyway.
I don't mind. I didn't mind the double champ stuff when they had. I guess Naito was the first double champ. I didn't mind that, but then to unify them, like you're just taking away, and then that ugly design as well. But you're just taking away a title that was important, and now, like you said, like you don't have that title now. So like they could have gotten so much out of those. Like, all right, you lost the Intercontinental title, you're still the world champion. You can do an Intercontinental world title match, and then still have the world champion win it, but then you still have your Intercontinental champion. Like you could have done that. Instead, it's just like, all right, we're gonna do 2 belts for a year, and then we're gonna unify them, and now you're in this spot. It was a wrong move, and it didn't look like a good move, like, at first.
Right.
And now in hindsight, it looks even worse.
It's tough, man. I don't know. Like it's cliche, right? But it sure feels like we've very much firmly moved into the next chapter for New Japan. And what that brings, it will bring. New Japan has a very unique history of like violent swings in kind of success. I don't think they're vulnerable to that kind of a dip. I personally don't. But they need to steady the ship. And I think this next choice is probably one of the most important in a long, long time. So we'll see what they do. I mean, I probably won't watch it, but I'll see on Twitter.
Ray says if they didn't unify, Ospreay would have vacated them both. Well, my point was, like, you don't unify, and at some point last year you have Naito or Evil lose one of them, and you just separate the titles like they were. Like, you don't have a year of, hey, double champions and then unify. So
also don't do Evil.
Yeah. Yes, that too.
When people have waited 4 months for your product, like, just don't do 35-minute Evil main events. Like, it's not what people wanted, but
Yeah, that too. Speaking of titles and people in the main event picture, KofiMania, Joseph. Here we go. This is the feel-good. Yeah, this is the feel-good story of 2 years ago. We're gonna do it again, baby.
Bro, I thought you were gonna like play a video or something. You was like, "Here we go." I was like, "There's no way that's him throwing it to me."
No, I don't have a video.
There's no way. I don't know, man.
Look, you want me to play? Hold on.
Okay.
Joseph, KofiMania, baby. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Shout out to him, by the way. What a tremendous promotion he's provided for our podcast today. Anyway, look, I say this. I'm concerned by the fact that I still feel like Drew is very much big picture here. But like, we all agreed the main event scene needed something fresh. Kofi's fresh. Now, should Kofi be fresh? Probably not. He probably shouldn't have been completely erased from the main event scene 18 months ago. But he was. You can't change that now. It's happened. If we can get... Here's the big thing, Jeremy. Let's get a pay-per-view match out of this. Let's not do a Raw rematch next week to try and pop a rating that goes up to 1.9. Let's just try and get a pay-per-view match. Just treat Kofi with respect. Just give him 15 minutes, then they can have a great match. Raw is... This is how I'm thinking about it. And I could... By the way, guys, this is Damian Priest stuff I'm talking about. I may just be imagining in my head, okay? My perception is, or perspective, is they need to get to, like, where... When Priest is ready, they need to, like, get bridges to that point. Now... That could also mean they need to just kill time until Drew gets the belt back, which seems somewhat more likely. However, Kofi is a great guy that you can kill some time with. And I don't mean that in a sort of disrespectful way. What I mean is he's established, the people like him, he can work, and he can talk. Okay, do it. Like, I'm all for it, man. Like, look, is it obviously what it was? No. Has it been a complete kind of miss that they got so little out of it after the reign ended? 100%. Anyone that debates that is just being dumb. They got Cain Velasquez feud out of it, man. Like, it was what it was. But now, I think it can work. I think MVP can cut some great promos. Are you more interested in a Raw that's led by that feud than a Drew Bob feud? Absolutely. And if whether that's what they're trying to achieve or not, I don't know. But if it is, good job, I guess, because I'm for it.
The problem with it is, like you said, they didn't do anything after Kofi lost the title. Like, even they didn't follow up well with Kofi. They didn't follow up well with Brock because they did I saw you yesterday tweeted like the Cain Velasquez thing. It's like, yeah, Kofi lost. Here's Cain Velasquez. And we got one match out of him. And then he just disappeared off the face of the earth, after he was a lucha legend in Triple Mania. To the way they set this up too. Like, I was kind of angry that they just had Lashley lose like this. They've been protecting Lashley so well. Like, they've legitimately done a good job protecting Bobby Lashley and making him look like a badass and a destroyer of all these dudes. And then they do this stupid distraction roll-up finish. It's like, man, you actually had done well with this guy of building him and protecting him. And then you made him look like the same dork you made everybody else look like on this show. It's so, like, if you want to heat up Kofi, that's fine. No problem with Kofi. Absolutely no problem. is this how you had to do it? Like, did you need to sacrifice Lashley to look stupid to do it? You couldn't just do another gauntlet match that Kofi won or something. Like, this is the way you had to do it. Dude, they're going to do this match on television next week. Lashley's going to win, and then it's going to be 1-1, and then they'll get a pay-per-view match out of it, I guess. But they're going to do, 100 rematches on television first. It's what Raw sucks. It's a terrible show.
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment on that because I know what it is now. I say this much: the in-ring looked like it was good. Everyone said it was, so there you go. We did review. It's worth noting because I know a lot of people only watch our YouTube show. We did review the Backlash in great detail on the Twitch, right? And we were very glowing about it. We both loved that show. Great show. The issue for WWE has been this now for a long time, and I don't need to go over it over and over again because we get it, right? Like, the in-ring's really good because the talent is all-time great level. Unfortunately, the direction is very, very rarely enticing for you and I. And let's be fair, for most people in our kind of bubble, and it is a bubble, there's no shame in it, but there is very seldom, as much as I like these pay-per-views, do I leave them and go, I cannot wait to see what I do next on Monday or Friday. That's just not where I'm at with this product. So while I agree with you, I don't love the execution of what I saw of it with Kofi. I didn't love the whole bait and switch on the open. I thought a lot of it was it looked lame. At the end of the day, they went with something that I didn't see coming. And I frankly had moved on from Kofi being taken seriously as a top singles guy. I'm glad they haven't. I'm for that. Now, the issue with Raw is it's like, okay, if we slot Kofi in there, okay, that's, thumbs up. These issues elsewhere where it's like we're building to this Charlotte and Rhea match, I think, right? But Charlotte is like putting over Asuka.
Losing.
Right. So this is the thing I don't get is know for a fact that either the woman herself, and if so, I respect it, or the creative is saying, everyone thinks we're going to smash Charlotte over, we need to rein it in. So they're giving Asuka these roll-ups and stuff.
Oh, you're going full robot here, Joseph. This is not good.
What, for the first time, or is this happening a lot?
No, I mean, all right. It seems like it kind of corrected itself. You've been freezing a little bit, but that was full-on robot.
Oh, this is very bad.
You're
should
good
be
now.
fine, folks. Okay, good. I don't know what I was talking about. They're giving Asuka these roll-up wins to kind of make it it's more even. They don't want to smash Charlotte over. But it's just, it comes across rather hollow, and I don't think it really helps either party, Because they're obviously going to Rhea and Charlotte, right? That's clearly their destination. So beating Charlotte doesn't really solve anything. It just sort of slows things down to me. I don't know.
Everybody's just a loser on that show.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Lashley was the one guy who didn't feel like a loser, and then you made him a loser on Monday. Everyone's just a dork on that show. Who could possibly care about any of these people? I love Kofi. I hope they do. I hope they do what you said, and they don't do this rematch on television. You don't feel like you've seen it 100 times by the time you get to the pay-per-view. I just don't think this is going to be the pay-per-view match. It seems like they're going to do Drew and Lashley inside Hell in a Cell so they can do no interference stuff. Drew gets his actual one-on-one rematch. MVP can't poke him with the cane to, distract them and everything. Here we go. This is the match here. I think that's where they're going. Drew was part of the reason that Kofi won on Monday. He's still very much part of this. I think they're just going to do a rematch on television. Bob's going to win, and that's going to be it. Good for Kofi. I'm glad he's in that spot. You said that, no one saw it coming, and so that's good. But no one saw it coming because this is just what they do. They just make these guys a bunch of dorks for so long. It's all right, well, we'll give them a couple wins and we'll heat them up. This is what they did with Shinsuke. Remember they did this with Shinsuke? If you're they're heating up Shinsuke. Here we go. Big Shinsuke run. And then nothing happened.
Yes.
They don't know what they're doing with this stuff.
Speaking of such, I know we have stuff on Patreon, which I think we should probably get to after.
Well, JR says, where was Jinder?
I don't know. Was he alleging that I did something to Ginger? I don't know, JR. I don't know where Jinder was. What do we think is next for Roman? Seth and Cesaro are looking like they're going to work, right?
Yeah.
Where does Roman go?
I think Roman just kind of does Uso stuff for this week. I actually would not mind if Roman takes off the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I wouldn't mind if he just doesn't wrestle on this show. Keep this guy special. You don't need him to wrestle. He's wrestled a couple TV matches in the past few weeks. keep them special. You don't need to do them Hell in a Cell. Do Uso versus Uso at Hell in a Cell. Let them solve their differences and do that. But you don't need to have Roman wrestle on this show because right now it doesn't seem like there's a clear build unless you're going to do Roman against Jimmy, since they did, Roman against Jay at Hell in a Cell last year. That's the only thing I can see is Roman against Jimmy. After Hell in a Cell, then you can start doing more with them.
So you're saying Edge is SummerSlam, right?
I still believe Edge is the SummerSlam play.
Yeah, you might be right, actually, because Cesaro and Seth is probably going to be like the main smack. So
I think that's going to be Hell in a Cell. I think that's going to be a Hell in a Cell match inside Hell in a Cell at the pay-per-view.
Is there anyone we can, like, I guess, you're probably right. There's probably no point in stealing a pay-per-view match, right? Just give Roman the month off. That works for me. I'm fine with that. Edge at SummerSlam is a big match. You're right. You said this on Twitch. The crowd's so into Edge. We were wrong about how, his star is still very much big to that audience. So back in front of a crowd at SummerSlam, maybe sooner, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Money in the Bank is going to be in front of a crowd.
Why are they doing the sell before they go back to crowds? Surely sell is a big ticket seller.
Is it at this point?
True, I don't know. I can't explain myself. I would rather see a Hell in a Cell than Money in the Bank. Every single time. That's just
but they didn't sacrifice Money in the Bank for Hell in a Cell. They sacrificed Extreme Rules. This was supposed to be Extreme Rules month.
Oh.
So they could have just done Extreme Rules and then done Money in the Bank, and it would have been the same. So it is kind of weird that they would. Why wouldn't you just do Extreme Rules and then keep Hell in a Cell in October, and you can do that in front of a crowd?
Yeah, because that means they're going to do 2 cell matches in the Thunderdome. 2 cell pay-per-views in the Thunderdome, sorry. Because they did the October ones in the Thunderdome. So, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Should we do the Patreon questions? Would you like me to pull them up, Jeremy? Or will that break my internet?
Well, Adam Pearson says trying to get everyone over has gotten no one over. Exactly, Adam. Well, we have to, we teased this, or I teased it in the headline here, so we got to get to it. Joseph, NXT, not good.
Oh.
It's not a good show. It's banned again. I'm rebanning it.
Don't do this again, man. We're going
rebanning it.
Okay, explain why it's no good. I'll let you go.
Well, I think we were fooled. I was fooled. I was definitely fooled. Not you. I may have fooled you into this because you were like, I'll watch it, whatever. I was like, Joseph, no. It's good. I promise you. Like they got more focus. They have more direction, everything. It's actually like a good show now. I think we were tricked because now that it's not up against AEW, makes it seem like, oh yeah, it's actually like a good show because you're not comparing it to AEW anymore. You're just looking at it more on its own, and you're comparing it to Raw because Raw's the lead-in for NXT now. But it's the same show. They're still just like doing big matches on television. They're just like doing some nonsense with no actual direction and stuff. Like it's really not that great of a show. It feels very lifeless too, like very lifeless. I don't think Cross as champion helps this guy. Like it just ain't working. Some of the stuff they're doing is okay, but I think they kind of neutered a lot of, oh my God, Pulowski's here to say NXT is great. How dare you? Look, Pulowski. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know, Jeremy. I watched it. The matches are cool. It's the same problem.
The matches are so cool.
Yeah, I just don't find it particularly interesting. But it doesn't annoy me or frustrate me. It's just I just find it to be kind of flat. I don't know. I like the hit row stuff.
That's good.
I don't know why I couldn't speak then. That was odd. What else is on the show? The way stuff's never been for me. I can see why people like it. Bronson Reed's cool. He does that face that we like. That one, yeah. Tony Storm, I think, has turned a corner as a heel. I mean, she's been very good. Raquel's, she's got big shoulders. Cross. Pete Dunne. I'm just naming wrestlers now that are on the show. Timothy Thatcher. They're all very good. It's fine. Look, I think it's a fine show. I think it's hard to get into. That's what I would give my perspective on. It's a fine show. It's not frustrating or irritating. I just think it's not one that you kind of can sink your teeth into emotionally. It's just a cool way to spend 2 hours watching good wrestlers wrestle. That's not really your thing, or mine at this point, to be honest, but especially not yours.
That's fair. That was my overall point before I went, full on kind of bit there. But it's better than Power. I will say that. That's a show. Did you watch this week, Joseph? You watched Power this week?
I heard it was good. Someone told me it was good.
Who lied to you like that?
I can't name them. They didn't tell me, actually. They just tweeted it.
Shame this person.
They seem to like NWA. I let people enjoy it. Like, wrestling is for everyone. You know that.
Luke says, Kofi to Randy, Big Bad Snake doesn't want to apologize. Edinburgh, that's tough talk. Not sure Edinburgh hangs out with many tough guys. I don't listen to Edinburgh. I don't watch Raw, so I don't know.
He's struggling. I hope he's okay. He seems like he's really having a tough time with the Monday Night Raw gig, man. I don't know. It's difficult.
It is a very tough gig. It is. Yeah. You guys watch NXT and enjoy it. As Joseph said, wrestling is for everyone. You're right. It's not a bad show. It's just I have a tough time getting into it. Maybe because I'm working during it. Maybe if I wasn't working, I'd enjoy it more. I don't know.
It's not your taste. That's all.
Nah, because it's just like, matches, like you said. Like it's just a lot of matches, and like they're good matches. But I'm not a match guy. Like I need something, like a decent story behind it.
Right. And the episodic stuff is kind of like wacky, which is also like you kind of roll your eyes at it, you know?
See, I like the Dexter Lumis stuff because at least that's like long-term kind of trash reality TV nonsense that I'm all for. Don't do matches. I don't know. I don't want to watch actual wrestling matches.
Okay, that's fine. Look, I'm fine. I can't argue with it. I get where you're coming from because I watched the show. I've started watching again. And it never on Tuesday nights do I think, oh man, like this is on NXT this week. Like, I just watch it and I think it's fine. It hasn't got me hooked in any way. But I just, I don't want to be mean about NXT, bro. I did that enough and people got upset and then DMs and stuff, It's not good.
It's banned again. Completely banned. Banning it. Are we getting into the Patreon stuff? Clayton is trying to take shots and say basketball is lifeless. And he's going,
man. Bad time for this. Last night's game.
Not after last night.
Bro, LeBron hitting that shot was some like cinematic shit. Man. My life stood still for him. I was like, oh my God, he just did that over Steph. That was wild, bro.
He saw 3 rims, Joseph.
Bro, selling like Ed Kingston in a Heat segment. Doing all this shit. Should be ashamed of himself.
He's going to wear an eye patch.
So good, bro. Such a great game, man. Such a great game.
It was a tremendous game. Yeah. Bro, people ask about basketball on the Patreon.
Bro, Steph Curry is like, he's different, Just simply built different.
I'm always going to have my gripes with Steph because of the way he killed my team. But when you watch him from, he's not doing this to my team perspective, he's so much fun. He's a guy, I do a lot of different 2K draft gimmicks. One of the gimmicks that I did, and I played like 2 games on it, was a fantasy draft building around Steph. Is like I just wanted to use Steph Curry in today's NBA and see like who I could put around them. But basically, I just wanted to use Steph and just like go off with him in the league. Like, man, he's so much fun to watch.
Yes, the shot he made at the end of the half was like, they like triple teamed him, man. It was a ridiculous shot.
I was very disappointed that he didn't get a chance to get a shot off at the end. It looked like Davis grabbed his arm too. Like, I don't know. I know if you call a foul there, you get a free throw plus the ball if it happens before the inbound. But like, man, just let him get the shot off,
He's honestly though, I will say, I do think like people are sleeping on the Suns, man. Like, I don't think LeBron. It's gonna sound ridiculous because of how great he was. I know it, but like, I don't think physically LeBron's where he would like to be at all.
Yeah. And
like the Lakers have got issues. Like offensively, when they were in just half-court offense, they looked like they were really struggling.
Yeah.
Suns they're in rhythm, And that'd be a good series. I think people are being a bit dismissive of the 2 seed. Like seems a little bit wrong to me. I don't know.
It is. I mean, the Lakers were the favorites heading into everything. Right. And everyone has said, like, if they're healthy, they're going to be different. Lakers did not have a good game yesterday. Like Schroeder was bad, Davis was bad, and LeBron wasn't even that great either, at least shooting from the field. Like he had a triple-double. It's hard to say. Look, if anyone knows about, poor shooting performances while still getting a triple-double, it's me. So a lot of those.
Yeah, you don't stop with those either, right? Like,
yeah.
I was kind of rooting. I didn't know who to root for in that Boston Wizards game, but I was just like,
you were definitely rooting for the Celtics. Yeah. You wanted to avoid the Celtics. I know that for a fact.
I did also look at like the Wizards closing. They closed the season so strong, and I was like, I didn't really want to play either of them as the 1 seed. It's kind of brutal, right? But Yeah, it was a bummer for me, just as a fan of basketball, to see Russ playing that way again. I was like, oh, fuck. You know, like, come on, bro. Like, he just looks every time I want him to really, just for his own sake, play well. It feels like it's like, oh no, not today. It's annoying.
Are we, man? After the way they played the other night, like, I'm not even positive they're gonna be the Pacers beat the brakes off the Hornets.
No.
That wasn't even fair.
The Hornets rule, bro. It's such a funny franchise. Everyone's like, oh, the Hornets are for it. No, lost by 30. Never mind. It's a bummer.
Pacers are like, they don't have that one guy that you're like super afraid of or anything, but they're just like a well-coached team who plays hard. Like that's a tough team to beat. I do think the Wizards beat them tonight, but that's tough. You'll be fine.
Very tight.
The Sixers will be fine against. I think they'd be more troubled by the Pacers. The injuries like hurt the Pacers, but like the Wizards, right. I've seen enough Scott Brooks and Russell Westbrook to know that, like, yeah, you'll be fine.
Look, I think I'd love to be like, you know, take the pressure off and all that. Sixers need to be in the conference finals. Simple as that. No excuses. Yeah. We've got to make our first conference finals with this group. So it's just, it goes without saying. As much as I would love to say, well, actually, like, no, it just has to be. But we will see, Jeremy. I don't want to get too caught up in this very nervous stuff that's going on coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Lion, my team is the Thunder, greatest tanking team of all time.
Facts.
What's on the Patreon, Joseph? What do the patrons have for us?
I'll pull it up now, and if I turn back into a robot, I apologize, folks. About 5 hours ago, I put on the Patreon, which has gone very well. I want to thank anyone that has signed up.
Yes.
And, you know, obviously I get if you haven't, because we advertise it as like the shittiest stuff ever, but people have been very nice and they've signed up. So I'm gonna try and hit these kind of quick. Tim says, wildly speculate on how much Eddie is going to make selling those shoes. I mean, here's the question. Do being ring worn make the value go up or down?
Down.
Yeah, agreed. Not quite that big of a show, Dynamite, unfortunately.
And they were worn by the Young Bucks. Like,
yeah,
and it had not much value to it.
That's fair. So where are we at on this? What is the actual value? They're like 10 grand, they said? Or more?
Yeah, I think they said they were worth 10 grand. I think actually people will overpay for them though. So I think they'll make a good like 18 on it. That's my final 18.
That's a serious payday for Ed Kingston, let me tell you.
Yeah,
double the impact pay he got when he like wrestled on concrete and all that stuff. Okay,
that's about true, 5 times as much as NWA. Well, 5. Yes. That's about 18 times more than as much as NWA.
The impact part was speculation. The NWA part was not. Okay, we'll move on now. We answered Ray's question about the IWGP title. We appreciate Ray double dipping though with that. I do like that. What action movies would be made better if you replace the 2 leading roles with Eddie and Mox? That's from Connor.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's what I knew when I read that. I was like, oh, Jeremy's going Fast and Furious. No, it's action movies almost too niche, like to what you describe it as. But give me like Heat with Ed Kingston as Robert De Niro and Moxley as Pacino. give me those. That's what I would like to see.
What do you make? What do you make? So we were high on the Wild Thing theme last week. Yeah. Now Tony got the Major League version. Do we have thoughts on which version is better?
I'm way in the minority. I think it was better last week.
I think so too. But I do wonder. I will say this. I do wonder if, because last night was a taped show and it sounded very dubbed, like the crowd noise was very dubbed over it and everything. I do wonder when it's back in front of a live crowd, if the Major League theme will hit a little bit different. And I wonder if because last week it was a surprise, like we didn't know that was coming last week. Mm-hmm. This week I knew the Major League theme was coming, so it didn't hit quite as hard. So I will give the Major League theme a couple more weeks, especially with a live crowd. But I thought last week was better too.
I also think we're just like weirdos and we enjoy the wackiness of the original. It just is it's an oddball thing.
Yeah, but like Major League's like one of my favorite movies though. So
I get it, but like we are very much on an island with this. I'm telling you, like people were really.
I know. Yeah. When I saw, I looked at tweets and I was like, oh yeah, Major League is so much better. It's like, I don't know, man. It just didn't hit quite the same for me this week.
I think it's what you said, but it's also the other half of it is how great the presentation was last week with the I think the atmosphere was just different altogether.
Yeah, again, being live with all of that, like I think that helped. I want to see the Major League theme in front of a live crowd, and then maybe it'll hit a little bit differently.
Tope Suicida would like some basketball and hockey takes. We've given some basketball ones. Jeremy, feel free to say something about hockey.
My team is playing very well. Somebody asked earlier in the chat how many games I think Kadri is going to get. I think he's going to get 5 minimum. That was a nasty hit. My team's playing very well. We have the best player in the league. We're still not winning the Stanley Cup. I refuse to pick my team. Just refuse.
I respect that so much.
I can't.
Very fair. Ron says, he talks about Vanessa Born, which we have covered. I did cry many tears. Lakers game, we covered. This is all good. Okay, incorporate some BP dub talk. That's way too inside, Ron. That would lose people. We've already lost people enough for me being a robot. Have we met each other in person? We have not. Hopefully soon. What would be the first thing you two would do if you hanged out, record a podcast? Obviously, obviously we're going to do a podcast, you know?
We would do the best friends hug. We'd have somebody there to film it and zoom out. We would do that.
We'd have Jack Crosby as Orange Cassidy in the middle.
Yeah.
I must say, though, I'm going to be in, it looks like I'm going to be in Philadelphia on the week of Full Gear. Boy, am I tempted to change some plans, Jeremy Lambert. I'm very tempted. Very, very tempted. I don't know.
Oh, to St. Louis?
I'm just, because it's just, and even though we're definitely, the intent is for me, my brothers and pals, to go to Double or Nothing, if it's back in Vegas. And by back in Vegas, I mean the second ever show in Vegas that I do, which is weird because it felt like it was going to be a tradition, obviously. But yeah, that's the intention.
Speaking of Jack Crosby, is he on the show next week?
He is. That was on Patreon. That was a scoop. He'll have to pay for that, Jeremy. You've absolutely blown it. No, that would be great.
Well, I mean, it's been up for a couple of days now. Like we can report it here. We're gonna plug next week's show, so
we do. Look, I must say there is a perception among the elites of our industry that we kind of like forced Jack onto the program. He came onto the draft show and he was like, he didn't prepare, and people were like, "Man, you really bullied the poor CBS, Big Shot onto the show." He's like DM'd us and just goes, "Can I talk about Double or Nothing on the show next week?" He's so fired up. I love Jack, man. He's the king of this shit. Anyway. The Acclaim mixtape is really good. The Acclaimed, actually, I thought their rep was actually good this week, which is not often my fault. So I'm going to be honest.
I love the line, the oral sessions line. I loved even more when Bowens enters the ring. He's like, "Hey," and Mox just fucking punches the shit out of him.
I loved it. What I loved was when he disliked Kingston, Mox was like, "Very true, accurate." And then he got to him, he's like, "Wait, what the fuck have I done?" He's like, "That's the idea, John." That was all so great. I love that stuff. It was. Feelings towards Harry Kane. We should spare him. He deserves better. He needs to get out of our shitty club. That's my honest thoughts. When is JR1990 getting invited onto the show? Never, if you continue to speculate that I've done that in Jinder Mahal. Kirby says, talk about your girl, Joseph, and why the Fed didn't let her rest with some zombies. That was a cool line by the Vanessa Born. I don't know, man. I think we covered her. But he also says, Vince smart enough to put the strap back on Asuka? No.
Is it even like being smart? Let's put the strap back on Asuka. Like
I just get rid of all the belts and close the promotion. That's just
she had the title for a year, and no one was like, "Man, this historical Asuka title reign." Like they didn't do anything when she was the champion. So if you put the title back on her, it's not going to matter at all.
Oh, I agree. It's not who has the belt; it's what they do with that, right?
Yes.
What have we got here? Chris, our friend. You force yourself into saying nice things about wrestlers you don't care for. Brackets, provided they aren't despicable human beings. So you can count out anyone with allegations against their name. I will do that now. Seth Rollins has some of the more engaging freestyle bouts in wrestling history. Now you go. You'll go.
I like every wrestler that isn't a despicable human being, so it's fine.
Okay. Well, you say, bro.
Nick Aldis holds the real NWA World's title that was held by Flair, Funk, Race,
Rhodes,
Briscoe, Rhodes. Yeah.
Say something nice about Mr. Kennedy.
Can say his name twice.
He can. He's very good at it. Talk about the Dirty Dogs. Listen, JJ, we did that for like hours on Twitch. It's far too long. How did LeBron sink a game-winning shot when he can't see? That's covered, Bud Ryan, but we do appreciate it.
I mean, how did people beat John Cena when they couldn't see him? Like, it just happens.
True. That's very true. Drew says, what past storyline did you think was bad and how would you fix it? Well, I would take Retribution and not do it.
Not do it.
That's what I would do. What about you? It's actually a really good question, Drew, and like we'll do it like in full, but in this format, that's what comes to mind. I'll just not do retribution. Actually, I got another one. I would take the Fiend S angle and just not do it. That's another thing I'd do.
I would take the Fiend angle and let Bray Wyatt's vision play out. That's what I would actually do.
Live sex celebration, baby. Here we go.
What Bruce got involved in ruined it all.
Damn. Bruce is like Bray's dad, right? Like, he dad stopped me again, sent me home again. Anyway, Jake wanted 60 minutes of NBA playoff talk, which would have been bold. I don't think we've quite that. Do that another time. Yeah, the Twitch is a good fit. He says maybe grab Palowski as a special guest to rant on Eric Bledsoe. Unfortunately, Jake, Alex is too busy bullying us about not liking NXT. There you go. Oh, this is what JJ wanted. My apologies, Jeremy. Okay. Do that super chat, and then we'll get to JJ's.
Norm Summers says, this is for showing love to my Wizards and Juice Boxes. Mox and Kingston for a short reign with the tag titles till Mox takes paternity leave. I think they're winning the titles. I hope we're not just talking ourselves into this. And good luck to the Wizards. As a Thunder fan, I always going to be a Russ fan. I want to see him succeed. You know who we should talk about. You have one more Patreon question.
Well, JJ says that his actual question was, he's given me a chance to convince him on the Dirty Dogs. I have no. I just would say they're good.
You're either gonna, be convinced of the Dirty Dogs or you're not. You either respect their ring work and their offensive tandem, or you just don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect weapon. I mean, they are one of the great teams in wrestling history, so you should probably be on board. But I'm not going to convince anyone to be right. They can be wrong.
Alex says Eric Bledsoe is a turnover machine. There you go. I had a comment on something, and then I completely forgot.
You was talking about the Wizards, and you go, there's this one guy we should talk about. That's what you did.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Joseph. DeMar DeRozan, man.
I don't know what this is referencing because I didn't see this game.
He's bad. He's bad in the playoffs. He's very, very bad in the playoffs.
Come on, though. We don't need to kick DeMar. He's,
It's
he's like NBA podcasters diss that dude so often, bro. He's like the Dolph Ziggler of that league, Like the players all think he's nice, but he just gets, and analytics hate him because he takes his mid-range shot. He's just leave DeMar, man. Come on, bless his heart. He seems like a good guy.
I feel bad for him, honestly. It's just every single game one. Somebody had a tweet of looking at all his game one numbers, and he shoots 28% from the field from game one in game ones. All those game ones you've played in, how it's bad. It's just bad.
To quote Robert O'Neill, I'm sorry to hear that. Which is one of my favorite Robert quote tweets that goes underrated when he just puts, I'm sorry to hear that about every possible news story that comes up. It's very good.
Alex says that he's not as bad as Eric Bledsoe. I mean, fair, but Alex, is Eric Bledsoe that much better than Drew Holiday? I mean, I think you're being unfair to Eric Bledsoe here and probably overrating Drew Holiday.
Yeah. He's an all-star, right? Good defender, all-star. That's what I was told,
Yeah. Joseph, you can't see backstage, but speaking of Robert O'Neill.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Oh, no. That bad, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if I'm going to bring him on, honestly.
You have to. We have nothing else to talk about. We just went through 20 questions on Patreon in about 2 minutes.
I don't have to. I mean, I control this. I don't have to.
Yeah, but the people. This is the people's show. I've been told.
Yeah, it is. We do listen to the people, even though most of them are horrible, and I don't know why we listen to them.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I don't even think he has a topic this week.
He doesn't. He does not have a topic this week.
Just awful. Here we go.
History point
What are we doing, O'Neill?
You're being disrespectful. It's 10 years since Randy Savage passed away. I wanted to honor him and pay tribute to him today. And you're being disrespectful.
You gotta be kidding me, Robert O'Neill. You cannot do that to us, man. We have brands to protect, bro. That's brutal. That's so mean what you just did. I can't believe it. He actually just branded us as villains, Jeremy. This is gonna be clipped.
He did.
He's a tastemaker.
What are you talking about? Do you know what you're talking about? You got 3 minutes. Your time starts now. Go.
I think we're just getting into Sacrifice 2008 a little bit, right? We're going to plug that. Yes. We're going to talk about that later. I thought that was a live show until about 3 hours ago. Apparently, people will not be joining us live. You can listen to that when it gets posted at some point later. Haven't done any sort of research into the show. Don't know a single match on it except the one triple threat because of the promo. It's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, no, I thought it was live. I thought we were going to do a watch along thing because I thought that was the whole point.
You made that point. You made the point that you thought it was live. It's not.
So, just guys, I'll help Bob here. It's Bob's corner free, but we're doing this together because we've got to get. We're going to do the post show on Twitch, Jeremy and I, as usual. But then Bob and myself will be recording a commentary track for Sacrifice 2008, which is a show that neither of us have watched or care about or want to watch. We'll be doing this commentary track for 3 hours. And then we'll be posting it on Patreon for all of our patrons, whether you're $1 or $20, whatever you want to be. That's fine with me, boss. And then what we're going to do is you can line it up and play it with us and experience Sacrifice 2008 in all of its glory with Big Shot Bob and myself. That's what's happening, right, Bob?
It's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, what else is up, guys? Did you guys watch the playing games last night?
Hell yeah, Bob. We've talked about it on the show. Yeah, I only watched the Lakers Warriors game, I must say.
That was good. That was a good one. The other one was not very good. But I didn't think I'd like the format, but both the games were, okay. Lakers Warriors was very good. LeBron hit a shot from half court to win pretty much. It's cool.
He's pretty good, right, LeBron?
He's all right.
Did you say you didn't like the first game?
I didn't see too much of the first game. It looks like it was a blowout, and then the Memphis or Spurs came back, and then I think Memphis ended up winning anyway. But I don't know. It's an interesting format. I don't know if I would keep it, going forward, but it probably did a big rating, and that's what matters, right?
Bob, I'm sorry to hear that. I just wanted to use that against you because I know that's like one of your things. So I'm going to use that a lot tonight. By the time Bob and I record tonight, folks, I will have done about 3 hours of distraction content. It will be about midnight here in Brit time, and I will be completely fucked. So that will be a great adventure, a great experience. We have 25 seconds to fill. Bob, do you have any closing statements before hit the big points here? What we got to promote? Go for it, Bob. 20 seconds.
Let me see. What have I enjoyed this week? The Anthony Ogogo stuff with Austin Gunn was cool. Kofi being back maybe in the title scene is pretty cool. Bronson Reed, like him a lot. Glad he won the North American title. And
make the face, O'Neal. Make the face. Do it. Hurry. Make it. Hurry. Come on. Oh, come on. History final.
You gotta love Bob. I go, hit the big points here on promotion, Bob. What we got to promote? And he goes, what was the other stuff I liked? Bronson Reed promotes nothing. Bob, that does not help me. But folks, 3 hours of that. If you listen, 3 minutes of it, huh? Give me 3 hours, they say. That'll be on Patreon.
O'Neal,
do you think any of our
back on if you make the face? You got to make it now, and then I'll see it on the backstage, and then I'll bring you on. Come on.
Does he know what the face is?
I don't think he does. Hold on.
That's fair. Okay.
O'Neal, we're gonna all do the face together, okay?
Oh no.
Is your mic muted?
Oh no. Oh, look at this. This is 3 hours are ahead of me.
All right, there we go. No, I unplugged it because I was done, and now I'm just using the computer one, which sucks.
I don't want you to talk. We'll just make the face. You ready?
What are we doing?
The Bronson Reed face. Do you want me to pull it up? Is there? I don't know if I can actually pull this up. I don't know if there's like a screenshot of the Bronson Reed face.
Bob was shoot hot there. He's like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, I come in here, I try and be a professional.
Yeah, that's what you try and do, yeah.
You ready, O'Neal? You got to make it go. Joseph, you got to do the face with us.
Oh, shit. Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Get out of here.
Wait, please explain. Am I missing something? Did Bob just do the Bronson replays based exclusively on how you did it?
I think so.
It was so kind of like half-hearted, but there was true intention behind it, you know? He just saw you do it and was like
JJ has a super chat. It just says the stars are always the baby faces. Alex with the best review that he could possibly give our show. I love this stupid show.
Oh God, man, that's as funny as shit we've ever done here. I think it's just like he didn't want to do it, but he had to. He felt he needed to, so he just did it anyway. And he didn't know what you were talking about. He just see you do a face and was like, "I'm going to do a face."
Oh man! All right. We'll be. Where will we be? We'll be on Twitch in 20 minutes or so. I don't know. What are we talking about on Twitch? What are we doing?
We'll do some NBA, and I think we'll also do a kind of deep dive of sorts on Drew's kind of like angles with Breed book. I think we'll try and do that best we can because Drew is a great brother, so we'll have a look at that. And we'll just talk nonsense, really, as usual.
Yeah, the chat will guide us, I'm sure. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Joseph, I'll ask you to plug something, and then you can tell me what you enjoyed this week if you want.
That would be a very short segment, wouldn't it? Oh man, the plugs are getting out of control, man.
They are.
When I went on True Hill Heat, I was like, next time I come on, I'm going to just email you like my plugs, and you can just read them because I'm tired of trying to remember them. I don't know, guys. Like, just follow me on Twitter at Joe Hulbert, and like, if it doesn't show up on my timeline within a week, it isn't important, you know. Just do that. Just follow me there, which is already on the screen, so I didn't even need to say that. What else would I like to say? Because we've got some time here. I could really do something grand, couldn't I?
If you want.
Whose shirt should someone buy? Should I do something like wild? Folks, Honor Arena, get your tickets now. We're bringing purity back to pro wrestling. Get a Violence Unlimited shirt for the measly price of $45. Support the King of New York, baby. Let's go.
All right. There you go. I'll try to plug stuff. YouTube.com/Fightful. You're here now, so you can stay here if you want. Subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell for notifications. You can subscribe to Fightful Select. Sean is always breaking news over on Fightful Select. A lot of stuff about Drake Wirtz getting his ass beat and stuff. If you're into that, so you can check that out. What else do we got? You can check out our Patreon. I think I'm allowed to plug this on our own show. Maybe I might get in trouble. Distraction Choice, patreon.com/the distraction. You can pay as much as you want. You can pay us $1. You can pay us $100. We'd prefer if you pay us $100, but if you want to pay us $1, that's fine. Content that you get from over there, I have no idea. We kind of just make it up as we go along. You get weekly NWA Power reviews. If you're into that, like you get that. You get apparently TNA Sacrifice commentary tracks. You're into that. O'Neal is a part of that brand now, but he will not see any money from this. So just know, like, if you like Robert O'Neal but don't want to actually pay him for the content, just do that. You know, you get O'Neal content, but you don't actually support him. You support us. That's what you want to do. And then we're just always posting stuff. Joseph is reviewing Eddie Kingston matches. He got Dark Side Motherfucker, where he reviews Dark Side of the Ring stuff. Bunch of different nonsense over there on patreon.com/the distraction. Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. We'll be there in about 20 minutes or so talking stuff. We're there a lot. And we are Music and Moonsault says 90 Day Fiance pod with myself and Chris. We're gonna do that on the Patreon. Do a lot of stuff. Some of it's wrestling, not all of it's wrestling. I use the Patreon to not talk about wrestling, honestly. Talk about other stuff. Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. Booty Pro Wrestling tomorrow, assuming I'm not feeling too ill from the COVID shot. As people said, it kicks in after 11 hours or so. I had to take a nap earlier, but otherwise I feel fine. Hopefully I'll feel fine tomorrow. We're gonna do some Booty Pro tomorrow. Orange Cassidy is a confirmed watcher of that show, so watch the show that Orange Cassidy enjoys. I think that's everything. And you can follow me on Twitter. I'm always doing stuff on Twitter. I tweet a lot. All right, everybody. We'll be back on Twitch, twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. Go check that out. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.